This local woman's story stunned the nation. Seizures, shakes, all caused by her seasonal flu shot. It is a story you saw first on Fox 5. A Redskins cheerleader ambassador left disabled, suffering dozens of seizures every day, and that was before she took a turn for the worse.
But a controversial doctor in North Carolina is turning her life around. Fox 5's Claudia Coffey takes us along the road to recovery.
All right, the Desiree Jennings PSYOP. Guys, this cannot be emphasized enough, all right, and reiterated how absolutely huge this story was at the time when this came about. And make no mistake about it, 100% government PSYOP to, number one, reinforce and legitimize the flu shot vaccine, while simultaneously, right, of course, discredit and demonize anti-vaxxers. Because how this played out is they had their media come in and, quote unquote, expose her, right? So they had Inside Edition come in as be the saviors and catch her, thus exposing her as faking and hoaxing this. Okay, so they try to make people think that she alone was hoaxing this, when the reality is, of course, the media was in on it from beginning to end, involved with her in hoaxing this whole narrative. Okay, so I remember this, a lot of people fell for it, myself included. I remember thinking, wow, that sucks, and a lot of people felt like that, especially, of course, anti-vaxxers, and they used it as fuel for their cause. So what happened was, it made people think like, hey, it made even pro-vaxxers at the time, question the legitimacy of the flu shot. They were scared. They even called this the flu shot scare. Okay, think about it. This was called the flu shot scare. This was a powerful psychological tactic played here. And so it made people question that, okay, and the anti-vaxxers were all cheering at the time. But what happens when this all crumbles? And there it is. It all crumbles, and then the people who, question this at all, even who believe in vaccines, they were like, oh, how could I ever question this? Of course they're legitimate. Of course flu shots are legitimate. Of course these people are crazy. And of course the anti-vaxxers came out of this looking like idiots and nutballs. There you have it. And it's only years later now we figure out what this PSYOP was really about. So just keep that in mind here moving forward.
Desiree Jennings was told by some doctors that she would never recover, that the damage she suffered from a flu shot was irreversible. But over the last month, she has gone from being on death's door to seeing that her old life is just within reach. Desiree Jennings never lost hope that this day would finally come.
It feels great to be able to smile again.
The Ashburn, Virginia native is not only able to smile, but she can walk again. These simple steps seemed impossible nearly a month ago when we first...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, right here is what you call photo op. Okay? Photo op, aka scripted bullshit for the camera. Okay? All they did here was say, oh yeah, Buttar, can you guys walk down and, pretend to be explaining something to her. Okay, great. Thanks, Buttar. I mean, if you think this guy is actually, actually walking down the hall with her and explaining something to her, yeah, I have a bridge to sell you, real estate to sell you on Mars.
Introduced you to the Redskins cheerleader ambassador.
Symptoms will get worse.
Just days after getting the seasonal flu shot, her health spiraled out of control. She had difficulties walking, talking, and suffered several seizures a day. Johns Hopkins and Fairfax Inova diagnosed her with a rare reaction to the flu shot that resulted in dystonia, a rare neurological disorder. But she still had some control. For instance, she could run but not walk forward, even ran a marathon. But days after she crossed the finish line, her health took a turn for the worse.
I didn't know what was in her. All I knew was whatever's in her shouldn't be in her.
With Dr. Rashid Buttar outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. He's a controversial physician who practices preventative medicine. When Desiree arrived here more than 3 weeks ago, she was in acute respiratory distress. She could barely breathe, and there were concerns that she just wouldn't make it.
Her face was starting to get that bluish, purplish tint because she couldn't get air.
Do you understand that every word that's coming out of his mouth right now is a total fucking lie? Every word means nothing because it was all staged. There was no reaction to the flu shot. There was no curing of her.
Twice I looked at my head nurse like, I think we got to call EMS.
Unbelievable. Look at this.
Shot.
My diagnosis of her is acute viral post-immunization encephalopathy and secondary mercury toxicity, which we've just established as of Friday.
And that's a result of the flu shot?
Absolutely.
Without a doubt?
Without a doubt.
He says she was showing...
Wow, people. Wow. There's your truth or doctor, people. There he is. There he is.
...symptoms from a number...
System. We supported her system, reduced inflammation, and then we started treating the injury by giving her certain nutrients that the brain needed that helped to repair the neuroreceptors.
Wow, check this out.
Synthetic amino acids and nutrients. Dr. Buttar believes with rest and continued treatment, Desiree will fully recover.
Well, hope to do, but that's why.
Desiree has received
Look at, yeah, can you guys walk up all the way to the camera and then stop right in front? And yeah, pretend to have your fake conversation because we're going to show a little of the audio. So just pretend to have this conversation. Unbelievable.
That's why.
Desiree has received attention and support from across the world since we first brought you her story. But with that has come naysayers, many who say this was an act.
What do you say to that when people say, oh, you're making this up?
How can you say it's a hoax unless you've talked to me and you've actually examined me and see the pain and suffering I've gone through? Not only that, but why would anyone, especially me, want to create a hoax like this?
Now she feels like...
Since 1999, the North Carolina Medical Board has made multiple unsuccessful attempts to restrict Dr. Buttar's license. Most recently in 2007.
Okay, yeah, he's this controversial, incompetent doctor in this narrative who claims that he, cured her flu shot reaction, even though there was no flu shot reaction, okay, because it's all a part of the scripted government narrative of this PSYOP, of which he is a part of. 100% fraud, busted. And guys, this is why you need to have your eyes open and discernment sharpened, as sharp as ever, because he is not the only one, okay? They're employing these so-called truth tellers with credentials right now surrounding this scamdemic, okay, for various agendas. And this is what we're trying to warn about. And so, again, he is not the only one. Have your eyes opened.
Made the story so startling is that her symptoms seemed to disappear when she walked backwards or ran.
Yeah, I can talk now.
And that's a result of the flu shot?
Absolutely.
Without a doubt?
Without a doubt.